Alright. The APC is very much concerned about the union executive. Please note it down. Union executive is often asked in BSc exam. So let's see who comes under union executive. Yesterday I discussed about the Parliament of India. Today our topic is going to be the union executive. So see, under the union executive, you will find the president, you will find the vice president, you will find the prime minister, you will find the union council of minister, and one more person is attorney general. Attorney general. Okay, so please remember our main focus of the political in this one, union executive. The president, the vice president, the prime minister, the union council of ministers, and the attorney general. So these are the only who are included in the union executive. Union executive. So now today we will just take up only one topic, that is the president of India. The powers, the functions, qualification, how the president of India is elected, for how many years he's going to serve, what is the reason why we have a president in India. Okay, so this will be a very important topic today, union executive. So please remember, union executive consists of the president, the attorney general, the prime minister, the union council of ministers, and the vice president of India. The topic is the President of India. Last page, is this a constitutional post or a political post? It is a constitutional post, which means it is indirectly elected by the people. Okay, the elections of the president is indirect. We will discuss today how the president is elected, what is the qualification to become the president of India. Is the election open? Okay, is the elections of the president open in India as a democracy? Yes, it is open. Any president. The thing is that you should be at least 35 years of age. That's all. You should be 35 years of age. Second, you should be citizens of India. This is very important. If you want to contest elections for the president of India, this is the qualification. 35 years of age, and at least you should be a citizens of India. Secondly, third point. No house of profit. No house of profit. Okay, now what is this house of profit? Yes? No house of profit. If you want to contest election to the president, you should not hold any house of profit. Any house of profit. When I say house of profit, that means you are a government servant. You are an IAS officer, IPS officer. Okay? Or you are doing a government contract. No, stop that. Do not do any kind of government contract. No government connections. Now you should be a private man because you're going to serve the country. You are the first citizens of India. Okay, you are going to occupy the highest constitutional office in India. So now resign from everywhere. That is known as no house of profit. When I say profit, it means it will benefit you personally. So never ever do that kind of an activities. Not possible. And the last is Lok Sabha. You should be eligible to be a member of a Lok Sabha. That is the last qualification. If you want to contest election to the president, you should be at least qualified to be a member of Lok Sabha, not Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha. I'm repeating once more. So these are the 4 essential qualifications to become the President of India. After this, election is open. Election Commission of India will announce the date for the elections. Anyone can contest. Now let's see who elects the President of India. How is the President of India elected? Election of the President. How is the President of India elected? Remember, let's see, the President of India is elected indirectly. Please remember, his election is not direct. That's why the President is less powerful than the Prime Minister. If you go to America, no, the people in general is going to vote. But in the elections of the President, people is never going to vote. The President of India is elected indirectly, that is by the MLAs and MPs. That's all. The President of India is elected indirectly by MLAs and MPs. So I'm going to discuss all this. How these people are elected. Okay, who participate in the real elections of the President? That means only the MLAs and MPs is going to vote. That shows that the common man will never vote in the elections of the President. That's why he is less powerful. That is why he is less powerful. And once elected, he will serve for 5 years. Once elected, the President is going to serve for at least 5 years. So these are the essential qualifications. Now let's see. Remember, the President of India is elected by Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Alright. But here, please remember this. The President is elected only elected, this is so important, only elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Only elected, not the nominated members. Because in Rajya Sabha, if you see, Rajya Sabha consists of 250 members. But there, the 12 members are nominated by the President of India. So nominated members will never participate in the elections of the President of India, either in the Lok Sabha or in the Rajya Sabha. No, only by the elected members of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. And what about that means? But the MPs will participate. Next is MLA. All the Indian states in Union Territory which have a state legislative assembly, SLA. All the Indian states in Union Territories having state legislative assembly will participate in the elections of the President of India. That means the MLAs, only the MLAs, not the MLC. You came across in Assam, we have 2 houses. In Assam, we have State Legislative Council and State Legislative Assemblies. Only the State Legislative Assembly will participate. But only the elected members, now comes, this is very important, only the elected members of the State Legislative Assembly will participate in the elections of the President, not the nominated members. No, it is not possible. So, this is too important. This is how the election system of the President is there in India. That means election is indirect. Okay, so now there is a question in NBSC. Which MLA, suppose say we have MLA, we have MB, right? There was a question in NBSC. The vote of an MLA is greater than the vote of an MB. True or false? Every person will have only one vote in the elections of the President. Either you are MLA or MP, only one vote. According to you. Yes? In short, just remember, the value of an MLA will be less than an MP. Because MLA is elected from just a small constituency. But when I say member of the parliament, you see, it's a big constituency, MB. You see just example from Nagaland, we have just one. We have one Lok Sabha and one Rajya Sabha. So see around how many population in Nagaland? 20 lakhs. So only 2 representations. So almost 10 lakhs population is represented in this 1 MB. But for this MLA, approximately how much? For Mount constituency, take the example of Kohima town, might be only 10,000. Yes. So the value of vote of a MB is always greater than the value of a vote of a MLA. Just remember that. Just remember that. That's all. That is too important. So sometimes it will be asked. So just remember, just use your logic. In Bulity, you have to use your logic. Okay, it is conceptual understanding, not memorizations. No, you can't memorize this. Not possible. Not possible. So see, this is all about the election system. Now let's see. Now let's see. Removal. How they are removed? How they are removed? Can the President of India be removed before 5 years? Yes, last bench. Can the President of India be removed before 5 years? He is the constitutional head of the state, the highest office in India. Yes, if he violates the constitution. Because we all know, no person is above the constitution. No person is above the constitution. Yes, the President of India can be removed if he violates the constitution. Because no person is above the constitution. But remember, this point you have to write it down. There is nothing written in the constitution where the removal of the president has been discussed. Okay, there is nothing written in the constitution where the president of India can be removed. But however, he can also be removed if he violates the constitution. So removal is known as impeachment. Now I will discuss this. Impeachment. Impeachment means to remove the president of India. But who can remove? Only by the Parliament of India. This is too important. The President of India can be removed only by the Parliament of India. That means Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. But here comes the confusions. In which house you will introduce? Who will introduce? You want to remove the President. Which house will introduce? Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, which house first? Rajya Sabha. Here? Rajya Sabha. Any house. Either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha. Any house you can introduce the impeachment proceeding. However, first, you must give 14 days notification. You must first give 14 days notification to the President that you are going to be removed. 14 days is not enough in PSC. 14 days notification has to be given to the President that you are going to be removed. After that, only the impeachment resolution is going to be introduced. However, to introduce the impeachment proceeding, you need a support of 1/4. This is very important. Often asked in PSC. You want to remove the President, but no, if you don't have the support of 1/4, 1/4 means, take the example, in Rajya Sabha, you have 250 members. So 1/4 means at least 60 to 70 members should say yes. Only then you will introduce. And who will introduce the resolution? Any member. You might be a minister, you might be the prime minister, you might be just a member of the parliament. You can introduce it, but you should get a support of at least 1/4 first. That is how the resolution is introduced. Okay, Rajya Sabha you have introduced. Rajya Sabha must pass the resolution by at least 2/3 majority. Too important. Absolute majority. Absolute majority. Alright. The Rajya Sabha should pass the resolution supported by 2/3 absolute majority. After that, it will go to the upper house. That is the Lok Sabha. And Lok Sabha should also pass the resolution supported by 2/3 majority, which means absolute majority. Absolute majority. So that is how the President of India can be removed through a process of impeachment. And remember, now one more differences. Here, to remove the President, both elected and nominated members will participate in this election. This is so important. Both elected and nominated members of the parliament participate in the impeachment process of the President of India. In his election, only the elected members. But here comes the change. To remove the President, even the nominated members of the parliament will even participate in this election. Okay, this is why this is too important. It is absolutely too important. So we will stop here for the impeachment. Now today we will discuss about the powers and function. And remember, one more thing you have to remember. The president, once he gets elected, should get oath from the Chief Justice of India. This is too important. The president, before he assumes the office, should take oath before the Chief Justice of India. And remember, what will happen if the president dies now, or if there is a vacancy? Okay, the vacancy is there. There is a vacancy in the president office. The president dies, resign, impeached, or incapable. Who will perform? Who will become the president now? Yes? The vice president. Only for 6 months. Only for 6 months. The vice president can become the president only for 6 months. If the vice president is absent, is not there, who will do? Number 3 is the Chief Justice of India. If the president dies, vice president can become the president for 6 months. But if he dies, if he's not there, the Chief Justice of India, if he's not there, one senior most judge of the Supreme Court. This is too important. The chronology is too important. If the Chief Justice of India is also not there, a senior most judge of the Supreme Court will become the president for time being, for just 6 months. Alright, after that election is going to be held. Remember, in India, the president of India can be re-elected maximum period of time. No limitations. Anytime he can be the president. 2 times. So, this is you have to remember. Now today, let us discuss the powers and functions of the Indian president. We have a long topic coming up. Union executive is too important. Very much often asked in MPSC. This is a very important topic. The powers and functions of the president of India. Number 1, executive power. Executive powers. Number 2, judicial powers. Number 3, financial power. Legislative powers. Military powers. Diplomatic powers. Number 7 is emergency power. Emergency powers. Okay, we have 7 powers. We have executive powers, we have judicial powers, we have financial powers, we have legislative powers, we have military powers, we have diplomatic powers, we have emergency powers. The President of India, 7 in total. So all these powers, let us discuss one by one today. It's a part of the Union executive. You can even expect 50 marks. Okay, for AC type of a question. In BC mains, you can expect this kind of question. Prelims also, very much possible. So we'll start with the executive powers first. We'll start with the executive powers. Okay, please write down. Okay, please write down number 1. The powers, number 1. The President appoints the Prime Minister and all the Union Council of Ministers. The President appoints the Prime Minister, Union Council of Ministers, and all the constitutional posts. Too important. First, executive power. The President gives the appointment the Prime Minister, the Union Council of Ministers, and all the constitutional posts in the center. Very much powerful. Next point. All the executive powers of the Union are vested in the President. All the executive powers. All executive powers. All executive powers. All executive powers of the Union are vested in the President of India. The Union executive power. See, only in the name of the President, the Union Council of Ministers, and the Prime Minister is going to exercise all this power, but only in the name of the President. So, appointment is too important. Who appoints the Prime Minister? It is one easy question this year. It is the President of India. This will be the easiest question. The President appoints the Prime Minister. And what is this power? Judicial, executive, financial? It is executive powers. Number 3. Okay, he makes rules. Third executive power. He makes rules for the most convenient transaction of the Union government. He makes rules for the most convenient transactions of the Union government. This is so important. He has to ensure that all the departments in the government of India function smoothly, conveniently, or else we will never achieve anything. That's the reason he will make rules for the most convenient transaction of the Union government. Next point. Next point. He can declare any areas as scheduled and backward areas. He can declare any area as scheduled and backward areas and administer them. He can declare any area as scheduled and backward areas and administer them. He appoints, next executive power, he appoints the Interstate Council. Interstate Council, very much important. He appoints, or he can set up an Interstate Council for resolving disputes between different states. He appoints Interstate Council for resolving disputes among different states. Next point. He can ask the Prime Minister. Next point, he can ask the Prime Minister regarding the administration of the country from time to time. He can ask the Prime Minister of India regarding the administration of the country from time to time. It's an obligation. It is one of the most important executive power of the President of India. He can ask, anytime he can ask the Prime Minister to ask the administration of the country from time to time. That's why you see, when the Prime Minister comes, there are so many advisors. IAS officer there. There will be at least 10 to 15 IAS officer coming up with Prime Minister, because he must keep the report to the President anytime regarding the administration of the country. That means the law and order, how the country is working, Every time the Prime Minister should give his report to the President. So it's one of the most powerful of the President of India. Last point. Last point. He can ask a minister. He can ask, the President can ask a minister to reconsider a decision. The President can ask a minister to reconsider a decision which has been taken on an individual basis. The President can ask a minister to reconsider a decision which has been taken on his individual capacity, but which has not been taken by the entire Council of Ministers. But which has not been taken by the entire Council of Ministers. That's all. So there are so many examples, but this is the most important. So in short, remember, all the constitutional posts in India are appointed by the President of India. The Attorney General, the UPC Chairman and members, see, all these are appointed by the President of India. So these are the executive powers. Alright. Executive powers. Yes. What do you mean by executive powers in short? What is this executive powers? Yes. In short, executive means to appoint, to transfer, to terminate. Okay, these are known as executive powers. So these are really important. Alright, these are known as the executive powers. Judicial powers of the President of India. Judicial powers of the President of India. Article 72. Please remember the article. Pardon power of the President. Article 72 deals with the pardoning power of the President of India. Alright. Article 72 is often asked in NBSC. It is known just like, what is this article 72? It deals with just like the pardon of the President of India. Under this we have 5 pardon. Pardon, communicate, remission, respite, reprieve. So let us discuss the judicial powers of the President. Number 1, pardon means, suppose you came across a murder case, a rape case, but under certain circumstances, the President can let the culprit absolutely free. On Republic Day, Independence Day, you came across the most, just like the luckiest person in the world. Take the example, those people who killed Rajiv Gandhi, they were set free. So, who knows? The President might give a pardon. Suppose you can be hanged tomorrow. You are Asma Kasam, you are terrorist who killed almost 150%. But who knows? If you ask mercy to the President will give you, okay, I will let you free. Absolutely free now. You can roam around now. So this is possible, absolute freedom to the culprit. Okay, you're a criminal, but death row. I think death row is the most dangerous, right? Death row will be only those people who are facing the murder case, rape case and all. Yes, or terrorist case and all. But the President can let you set free. Next is communicate. Communicate means, suppose you're going to be hanged. The Supreme Court has declared that Mr. A is going to be hanged tomorrow. But the President said, no, do not hang. Just replace the death sentence with life imprisonment. Life imprisonment. Imprisonment. Okay. You are still going to stay in jail, but see, this is much better. Instead of hanging, the President said, no, replace the hanging judgment into life imprisonment. Much better. You are still going to live in this world. So second, excuses the President can give you. The leniency, the mercy. It's a mercy petition. Article 72 is only about the mercy petitions of the President of India. Number 3, remission. Remission means, if the Supreme Court, the High Court says that you're going to stay in jail for 5 years, no, reduce it into 3 years. Who can do that? It is only the Mr. President of India. Remission means you're going to stay in jail, but no, a bit shorter. Instead of staying in jail for 5 years, you're going to stay for only 3 years. Only 3 years. Next is respect. Respect means similar with remission. However, here the condition is different. Suppose I'm a criminal, but my leg is broken. Suppose I'm a person with disability. Or just like a lady who commits a crime but she's pregnant. So let's give her a lesser punishment. Okay, if the court said 3 years, you have to say jail. No, give her only 1 year because she is facing disability. She is facing pregnancy. I'm pregnant or I'm a physically handicapped person, but I committed a crime. So for those people, lesser punishment. Who can do that? The President of India. Last is reprieve. Reprieve means you're going to be hanged. Suppose the court gives you a judgment. This Mr. A is going to be hanged tomorrow. But no, do not hang him tomorrow. Let's give him 1 more month. In order to unite with his family members or with Almighty, at least 1 month. Give him more. So reprieve means stay of the execution order. You're going to be hanged, but still then, give him some more time. So this is all about the bargaining power of the President of India. And remember, again, the President has absolute power to seek the advice of the Supreme Court anytime, because we all know the President is not expert in law. So he can ask the advices of the Supreme Court anytime, anywhere. But that advice is not binding on the President again. Otherwise, the judicial power. Because the President is not expert in the field of law, he will take the advice of the Supreme Court. But that advice is not binding on the President. He will take if he wants to take, or if he wants to reject it, he will reject it. Okay, next is financial powers. Financial powers of the President of India. Please write down number 1. Money bill. Please remember this, okay? Money bill in Finance Bill 1 can be introduced only the Lok Sabha with his permission. Every year, the money bill and the Finance Bill 1 can be introduced only the Lok Sabha with the permissions of the President of India, Mr. President of India. Every year, the Finance Minister of India will take the permissions of the President of India to introduce the money bill in the Finance Bill 1 only in the Lok Sabha, not in the Rajya Sabha. This is another absolute power of the President of India. Next point. Finance Commission. Every 5 years, the President of India will set up a Finance Commission in India. Every 5 years. Every 5 years, the President of India has absolute power to set up a Finance Commission for India. Every year in the center. Next point. No demand for a grant can be introduced except with his recommendation. No demand for a grant. No demand for a grant can be introduced only except on his recommendation. So what is this? No demand for grant. It means every department in India is going to demand so many things. Give me 5,000 crore. Give me 10,000 crore. Okay, for my department. But this demand for a grant can be met only with his recommendation. His recommendation is too important. So to allocate the funds within the control of the President of India. Next point. He goes to be laid before the parliament, the annual financial statement every year. Annual financial statement. Okay, should be laid in the parliament every year. So who will force that? It is the president of India. He will force the member of the parliament. Okay, especially the finance minister. You have to lay down the annual financial statement every year in the parliament. So another power. And last small power is contingency fund of India, which means an emergency fund. Okay, during emergency situation, take the example of COVID-19, earthquake, tsunami, or just like communal violence and all. When there is a huge loss of life or money during this time, the parliament cannot pass the finance bill and all. Okay, so in these conditions, from this fund known as the emergency fund of India. In this fund, the president can withdraw some money and give to the person. Okay, suppose Maharashtra is having a just like earthquake or just like in Nagaland there is a COVID-19 happening. So for them we need a special fund. So he can allot some of the funds from this fund known as contingency fund of India. So in the bracket please write down emergency fund of India. Often asked in BSc, it is known as the emergency fund of India. Emergency fund of India. Emergency fund of India. Next is the military power. The president is the supreme commander of armed forces. The president is the supreme commander of the armed forces. So armed forces, army, navy, and air force. Alright, this is very important. The president is the supreme commander of armed forces, which means the president will appoint the chief of the navy, chief of the army, chief of the air force every time. This is very important. Supreme commander. It is not the chief of the army, but it is the president who is the supreme commander of the armed forces in India. Under this power, he will appoint the army chief, navy chief, and air force chief. Okay, next is diplomatic power. Diplomatic powers. Okay, just remember, all the international agreements are signed in the name of president. This is very important. All the international agreements in India is signed in the name of the president of India, not the prime minister. So diplomatically also, he is the head. He can declare war and he can stop the war. Who will declare the war? It is the president of India. Officially, it is the president of India who will declare the wars and peace in India with the other countries. So another more power, it is the president who declares the war and he can conclude peace with any other countries. And all the international agreements are signed in the name of the Mr. President of India. emergency power. See, emergency means now, right? There is a situation. Yes or no? Emergency means something is happening now. We have to take immediate action. So now, under these conditions, in India, we have three emergency powers of the president. We have national emergency. We have national emergency. We have state emergency. We have state emergency. We have financial emergency. Okay. All these emergencies will be launched according to the condition. According to the conditions, these emergencies will be launched. So it is the Mr. President who will launch this emergency in India. All these three emergency powers I will discuss tomorrow. Okay, we will discuss emergency power of the president tomorrow. So remember, it is the president who will declare the emergency. It is the president who can stop the emergency after an approval of the parliament. So again, emergency also is declared in the name of the president of India. So all these are in the hands of the president of India. And the last is, the most important is the legislative powers. Okay, the next topic is going to be the legislative powers. Legislative powers. Okay, legislative power means to make the laws, right? Legislation means to make the laws. So the president of India also has some legislative powers. So let us see what are the legislative powers. The most important legislative power of the president is to make the ordinance. Ordinance making power. Ordinance. Often asked in BC. Ordinance. Ordinance. What is this ordinance? Law making power. Ordinance means the law making powers. The president can make laws anytime when the parliament is not in session. Lok Sabha is dissolved. Rajya Sabha is not in session. See, sometimes Lok Sabha calls for election after every 5 years. Rajya Sabha is there, but Rajya Sabha is not in season. Under that, in emergency situation, the president of India will make ordinance. Ordinance means not executive power. Ordinance making power means legislative power of the president of India. The most important legislative power of the president is to make ordinance. Ordinance means to make laws. But remember, the ordinance which is made by the president will have to be approved by both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha within 6 weeks. This is so important. Within 6 weeks, yesterday I have discussed this, today also I am discussing. Within 6 weeks, the president of India have to approve the ordinance which was made by the president. The parliament, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha must approve it within 6 weeks after it reassembled. Or else, that ordinance will not be enforced. It will become useless now. So 6 weeks is often asked in MBSC. Remember, what is the duration of the cap? The Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, they must at least meet once in 6 months. 6 months cap. Within 6 months, the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha should meet at least one time. So, altogether, if the parliament season is not held for 6 months, 6 months plus 6 weeks, you can end up. Okay, 6 months they are not coming because that is a constitutional obligation. So, maximum 6 months and 6 weeks. Next point. Sometimes the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha have to come together to pass a bill. Okay. Sometimes all the house cannot pass a bill for almost 6 months. In that conditions, it is the president who calls the joint sittings of both the houses. This is so important. Who calls the joint sittings? It is the president of India. Now he has to make sure who will preside over the meeting. In these joint sittings, legislative powers. Okay, who calls the joint meetings? It is the president. But who will preside? It is the Speaker of the Lok Sabha. Speaker of the Lok Sabha presides over the joint meetings of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. If the Speaker is absent, Deputy Speaker. If Deputy Speaker is absent, Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. If Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha is absent, any member of the Parliament selected by the President of India. This is too important. The joint sitting is presided over by the Speaker. If the Speaker is absent, the Deputy Speaker. If the Deputy Speaker is absent, Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha. If Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha is absent, any member from both Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha selected by the President of India. It's a legislative power of the President of India. Next point. Okay. Next is see. Suppose the members of the Lok Sabha Rajya Sabha wants to introduce a bill regarding expenditure. Regarding you want to change the name of your state or you want to create a new state. That can be introduced only in the Parliament, either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, only with the recommendations of the President of India. Absolute power, legislative powers. A bill regarding that deals with expenditure, change of boundaries of name, or creation of a new state can be introduced only in the Parliament, only with the permissions of the President of India. Next legislative powers. Next legislative powers. Another next. Okay. The President can anytime send message and address all Lok Sabha Rajya Sabha anytime. The President can send message to both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha anytime, and he can also address the season, Parliament. Might be the beginning of the year, end of the year, anytime he can address that. And he will call, he can, sermon. Sermon is what? He can call the meetings. We only have Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha meetings. So who can do that? The President of India. And second is, prorogue means, he can even stop the season. He can call the season, he can cancel the season or stop the season. That's all. That is known as the legislative power of the President of India. Next, the most important legislative powers. Okay. We all know. Yes, legislative power. Last page. Why the President is made a part of the Parliament without being a member of either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? President is an outsider, not a member of Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha, but he's a part of the Indian Parliament. Why? Yes. Yes, sir. Why the President of India is made a part of the Parliament without being a member of either Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha? For what reason?
So that you don't get biased in either of the house.
Okay. Here. One more.
Exclusionary powers.
See, I've been telling you, only one reason. Because all the bill passed by the Parliament will only become a law, an act, only with his signature. Only for signature. Okay, only for signature. That's all. Only for signature. why he's been made a part of the Indian Parliament. Only for signature. This is often asked in NPSC. Now see, we will discuss about veto. Veto means absolute power. You say, I will not come to the coaching center. That is your decision, absolute decisions. You still like, this year I will appear in this exam. That is your decision. You have taken absolute decisions. So veto means absolute power. Absolute decisions you have taken. You say no, you say yes. That's all. So the President of India has three types of absolute power. One is absolute veto, suspensory veto, pocket veto. Under the legislative powers of the President of India. Absolute veto means the President said, no, I will not sign this bill. That is known as absolute veto. When the Parliament, both Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha pass a bill, but given to the President for signature, the President said, no, I will not sign. Absolutely say rejected. But what kind of a bill he can reject? Ordinary bill. An ordinary bill which is passed by the Parliament is given to the President for signature. But the President said, no, I will not sign. I will not sign. That is known as absolute power. Totally rejected. However, if the ordinary bill is again passed by the Parliament 2 times now and given to the President, the President has no other option but to give signature. That is why, how many times, there was a question in PC, for how many times an ordinary bill can be rejected by the President? Only one time. One time. Okay, so one time. That is known as absolute veto. Rejecting the bill together. I will not sign it. Suspensory veto means the Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha give the bill to the President for signature. But the President said no, repass the bill once more again. That is known as suspensory veto. Repass the bill once more. Repass the bill once more so that I will sign. That is known as suspensory veto. Returning back to the Parliament for second time to pass it is known as suspensory veto. Last is pocket veto. Pocket veto means the last one, the pocket veto. It means instead of signature, the President gives the bill pending. I will not sign the bill, I will not return it, I will not reject, but I will keep the bill pending. For whole year, I will not sign the bill. Alright, but remember, just for personal information, the President can never reject a money bill, constitutional amendment bill for signature. The President can never ever reject a money bill and constitutional bill for signature. He must give signature. Other bill he can reject. Ordinary bill he can reject anytime. So these are the legislative power of the Indian President. Any confusion so far? Yes? See? Any confusion regarding this? Legislative, executive, financial, judicial? No confusion? So now, lastly, I will end up with situational discretionary power. See, the Constitution did not directly mention the discretionary power of the President. But there is a situation. Situation means if the situation compels, the President will take up absolute power. Alright, we all know. Please remember, at the end of the day, we are living in democracy. The President is elected indirectly. All these powers, legislative, executive, financial, judicial powers, are exercised by the Council of Ministers in the name of the President. So I discussed about executive, financial, judicial, but no, all these power are only in the name of the president. All this power inside the parliament, inside the office, it is exercised by the ministers, headed by the prime minister. So executive power of the president means executive power of the prime minister. So now, but in this condition, the president will consult no one, no obligation. I am the boss, I am the king. Okay. In these conditions, the president will never ever consult anyone. Absolute. That means situation. If the situation comes, that is what is known as situationary discretionary power. If you look in the dictionary, what is this discretionary? Discretionary means absolute power. Absolute power. So let's see. Appointment of a prime minister. Appointment of a prime minister. When no political party gets absolute majority. The first power. Appointment of a prime minister after the general election. Suppose we have Lok Sabha. In Lok Sabha, the political party which gets majority only the Lok Sabha is going to be running the country, and they will elect a prime minister. But take the example. Now our prime minister Narendra Modi is the prime minister because he has absolute majority in the Lok Sabha. Here comes a condition. Okay, BJP and Congress, Indian National Congress. Congress got 200, BJP got 200. Election is drawn, but we need a prime minister. In this condition, the president will choose anyone, either BJP or Congress. Absolute power. I appoint you as a prime minister. Within a month, you have to prove the majority. So it is an absolute power. When no political party gets majority after the Lok Sabha elections. Absolute power. Number 2. Dismissal of prime minister and the entire union council of minister. If it lost no confidence motion, anytime Narendra Modi and all the union council of ministers can be dismissed by the prime minister. If the prime minister lost the no confidence motion in the Lok Sabha, anytime. Now Modi is in majority, but who knows? Some of the Modi friends might run away and join Rahul Gandhi. In that conditions, no other option. The Prime Minister in the entire Council of Ministers is going to be dismissed by the President of India. Absolute power. Because he knows that Modi cannot prove the no confidence motion. And the last one is dissolution of the lower house. There was a question in MPSC. Which house can dissolve before 5 years? It is Lok Sabha. The Lok Sabha can be dissolved before 5 years if it lost majority in the Lok Sabha, lower house. So again, who can dissolve? It is officially it will be the President of India who will dissolve the lower house. That is the absolute power of the president in the situation. But if the situation comes, okay, only exceptional circumstances. This will happen only in the certain circumstances. So with this topic, we have ended up today. That is the powers and functions of the Indian president. So let's see what is absolute video, suspensory video, pocket video. Plus, what is absolute video? Yes, here. Absolute video.
Or the president to
Reject a bill all together. Right? Rejecting a bill all together is known as absolute video. And next is suspensory. Suspensory video means
send them for reconsideration.
okay, reconsideration. One more time, right? Ordinary bill. And pocket video means not signing. Keep the bill pending. And article submit to? Yes, last page. Article submit to? What is this article submit to? Yes? Yes, power of the president with regard to? Power of the president with regard to? See, that's why you have to be very sensitive. Okay, attentive, sensitive, creative. Now you're going to appear the NBC now. We have just 2 months. Judicial powers of the president. Article submit to. Pardon means letting a culprit set free. Okay, please remember this. We'll see you. Okay, this is the last class. Just like we'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow topic is going to be the emergency power of the President of India. After that, we will take up the Union Executive. And comes the Vice President. Alright, so please remember, this is a very important topic. Thank you, guys.